Get ready, because story time just got real.
It was the year 1840 when the poem was published in the papers. The iron press laid lines of words in rhyme and prose. Told tale of a young girl set out to the New Year's ball without the wrap her mother pleaded to wear. Some 20 miles, it said she'd gone before she began to fall. And lay froze in winter's icy bed. And that's how it came to be. The frozen Charlotte took on its name. Now we're gonna make you those frozen Charlottes and tell you a story forthwith. That there's porcelain, Ferenc. Quite the bee's knees with the chillins they's popular into the 1920s. And that's where we meet E.D. Belland, a dollmaker. A man of unorthodox method and of a peculiar sort. E.D. had his own manner of making dolls, though some things wasn't like. Beginning with a non-hardening clay, moving around with his hands, small tools, he'd take to a shaping them. Now, after a time, he began to work up more detail, but only so much, you see. Time is money, and these only cost a penny to pass from hand to hand. Now, E.D. fancied what's called bone porcelain. Got bone ash in the clay. Beef or pork bone came from it. But times was hard, and, well, most folk, well, they ain't had much for nothing. That's why the PennyDoll came about. So see, them meat bones wasn't easy to come by. That weighed in heavy on E.D. as he worked and grew tired that night. Then something put a notion in him. It was right about then it came into mind just where to get his mitts on some. Back later that night, with a cold can of cremains, he had more work to do, since sometimes those bone ashes come back a little lumpy. Nowadays, footnoose, it's a stone powder. There's your kaolin, that's a shine of clay, and some other ingredients he'd mix up in there, and trying to appear to himself somewhat respectable. He had in that girl's bone ash. And as he did, he recollected how he turned young Crispin's mind. Her ashes in there? To reach a degree of accommodation. Was at that very moment ED produced a proposal, about $1 worth of proposal, and as one might expect, an accord was struck. Now, figuring about any old box would do, he'd seal up them seams real good with that clay don't dry and prop up that little figurine. Now he'd have commenced to mixing up that special portrait plaster. So he'd been heat treated, give it special properties. I do recall mention ED had a manner of doing things his way. I would suggest clean water. Then he'd mix it all together, gentle-like. Then he filled that box about halfway. Let it dry.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
We's just funning with you. That old soap has many uses. Make a good release. Keep that plaster from sticking on itself. Being he was a mite particular about such. Getting them little holes been carved out. They's called keys. Keep them mold layers in line. Commence to covering that figurine till it disappear. Just like something all covered up under ice and snow. Now, when come time to open up, ED take that soft hammer and that little chisel. Tap on it right gently. Same goes for that little one. That clay sprue come out of there. He filled a hole in with plaster later again. First he put brush to swiping all around and then clean out any residue. Proper like. AD did have a fondness for them newfangled rubber strings. On occasion, he'd even put them to real purpose. He'd pour in that special recipe. Watch that portrait plaster absorb the water. Cause a layer to form in there. Pour out the excess and do it again and again until he liked the wall thickness. Then he'd wait. He'd wait some more. Now when they come on out there, they're gonna be in a might delicate state. They call it leather hard. That's a term for that clay be still on the soft side. Time when he can carve it up yet. ED took his time cleaning away seams making a few more details in them. I'm minding careful all the time not to carve through that thin wall. And he'd be pressing his eyeballs right up against them spectacles for dolling up them little uns. Now them little ones was a favorite with the young'uns. On occasion, the mama even bake 'em in a cake for a surprise. Now sometimes E.D. get a strange feeling, like there's a million subscribers watching over his shoulder. Now, Frozen Charlotte a right simple type doll. Some come across almost show crude. Oh, they's some a wee bit more on the fancy. They's different sizes, from right shy of a grasshopper up about knee-high to a toddler. Heh, they's even Frozen Charlie Boy dolls. Uh-huh. Now, when you get done straightening them all out, you recollect that waiting. It's back. But while he was waiting, E.D. liked to carve up some of them little wooden coffins. See, the young'uns like to sleep them dolls in there. No, he did have a little help. They still extra. Was a number 5 cone he was setting in the sitter. Next went in the shelving furniture. Then finally, he laid them dolls to rest in there. He set them dolls to candle 'em, bring that heat up, slow.
Now there's a shadow, and it's a creeping across the wall. Looking to make her way inside. Whoa, now she's a penny doll.
There's one more thing. The doll gonna reach upward 2,000 degrees in there. Don't wanna leave that all by herself. Gonna go in one thing. Gonna vitrify. See, it's gonna change. Gonna come out something else. Can't know for sure if it'd be better or worse. But make no mistake, it's gonna change.
Everything does.
Put a coat on! It's cold! I wish we'd never moved next to that cemetery. I know. What could possibly happen?
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Leave us a comment and a thumbs up if you will. Do subscribe to stay tuned for more, including our behind-the-scenes shorts. Curious about our creations? For more information, follow the link in the description below.